Hey, what's going on? I wanted to make another video here about Figure AI's robot called Figure One, and then Tesla's robot Optimus. And I'm just going to play this while I give a little bit of the intro or whatever of what I'm talking about today. I was thinking about it the other day, thinking about the robots and like, oh, which one's going to get to market first, right? Which one is going to be maybe deployed to, let's say, 10 factories or 10 warehouses, and it's going to be doing, labor like this, doing work around. And I was kind of thinking like, oh, whichever one gets there first, whichever one wins in terms of kind of getting a few hundred out. I was thinking, oh, that's it. They're kind of going to be the winner, and too late for the company. Kind of bye-bye. You were a few months late. Pack it up, go home. Right? You're not going to get anything. Right? It's easy to sometimes think about these places, or who's number one, or who's the winner, and then kind of lazily or without realizing it, making the assumption that everyone else will fail. But then I realized I was like, oh yeah, that's probably not true, right? We have so many different, when it comes to electronics, from, consumer electronics and consumer cars and things, we have many different brands which, all around us that you can choose from. We have the choice. And then when it comes to materials and raw goods, and also then like factory parts, things that are refined as well, and different tools and machines, right? They have choices as well when it comes to these machines. So it's not going to be winner takes all by any means. So I was thinking, well, I wonder who's ahead or who has a larger advantage. And I realized through listening to this interview here, which I'm going to play a piece of, this response by Brett Adcock here, I realized that Tesla does have a fairly large advantage when it comes to manufacturing. And so here, I'm going to cut in the middle of Brett's answer here. He was answering a question about timelines in terms of what they see as obstacles, or, you have to build the model, or sorry, you have to, train and hopefully get the robot to complete certain tasks. And then, what else is something that's a factor when it comes to getting your robots deployed or getting to a success state for you guys? Let's listen to his response here, where he's in the middle of the answer, but going on to a part that I thought was relevant.
That's both engineering and basic customer fleets.
And
then to the extent that's solved, meaning you have reliable hardware on the first stage, it works really well, got the right range of motions and payloads and speeds. And then you can basically train a robot to do these applications like a human can, and that's reliable. Then the question really becomes of like, what scale can you get the manufacturing volumes? And I think we're looking at a space where I believe you can get to like beyond automotive grade scale and almost like consumer electronics scale for these units, meaning you're going to be at unprecedented manufacturing volumes on a much shorter timeline to get out the door. So there's some work to do on that end to basically get enough robots into the world that can be useful this century.
Loving this conversation.
And so what Brett touched on there that I thought was relevant was the manufacturing, right? And he talked about how they want to get past automotive grade scale there and even get to consumer electronics. And so just a quick chart I have up here, this talks about number of automobiles produced per year. And this is a little bit old data, but we could see that Toyota and Volkswagen are around 10 million, right? Because this is in thousands, so around 10 million vehicles produced per year. I did see the numbers where maybe this is a little high, maybe it's more between 8 and 9, but regardless, right? Vehicles per year is around, if I add up all these numbers, it's probably around like, and these are just the ones shown here, right? There are obviously other brands that didn't meet this top, 10 that are showing this preview. But, right, at least like maybe anywhere from like 60 to 100 million vehicles produced per year. And so I was thinking about it, and Tesla's at right around in 2024 now, they're apparently at like a 2 million a year run rate in terms of the vehicles they produce per year. But I was realizing that Tesla has a huge advantage. And so in that they've been producing these vehicles, right? They've been producing and building out factories. They call them giga factories. I think they have 6 of these factories around the world. And they're working on another one now in Mexico, and who knows, I think they're still looking for more sites to continue building and expanding. And that expertise that comes with that will be beneficial, and I'll show an example here. So when it comes to Teslas, I looked up that apparently their first profitable year, so this article was in 2021, so their first profitable full year was in 2020, and there's this chart also shows that, I believe. So This, right? These are positive numbers now. And then I had this other. Did I have this other chart? Oh yeah, this one. So this shows how much money they're making per vehicle. I think because interest rates have been high now for a while, they've talked about how they have to lower money, right? Because a lot of interest in people buying cars actually has a lot to do with the interest rate, like what loan are you going to get, right? And so if interest rates are, the Fed fund rate, right, is between I think 5.25% and 5.5% right now, and it's been there for a while, right? That means basically any loan you're going to get from any type of like bank is probably going to be higher than that, or for a car. So that's dipped into how many people are buying cars at the moment. And so they've had to cut their costs, which is dipped into their margins because people can't afford cars at the higher price, whatever. So I saw that to say that Tesla is profitable, right? Let's compare them to another American EV company called Rivian, right? Rivian makes these cars. I used to think they look pretty ugly, but they kind of grown on me. But if you know, Rivians are pretty expensive. They only have, I think, 2 models out right now, or I think the R1T and the R1S. And yeah, look at these prices, right? Like $85,000. And that's one thing, right? That the price is high for these. Let's see. In terms of what most people can afford, so these are $100,000. Whereas Teslas, you can get Teslas under 40 or 50. Maybe 40 is only with the tax credit, but definitely for half this price. And so you think, oh, maybe they're $100,000. Well, maybe they're making money on them. No, this article from Reuters just last month, February 2024, right? Rivian is losing $43,000 per vehicle right now, which is pretty incredible, right? So they're selling these cars for $80,000 plus dollars, $80,000, $75,000 plus dollars, and they're still at a loss. And why is that? And it's because, which I think the problem that Figure will run into in competing with Optimus, the economies of scale, right? So Rivian, people are buying their cars, but they're only at a scale right now where they're able to produce about 60,000 cars per year. And so Tesla at 2 million cars per year, you can definitely see what the difference is. And I think I saw when Tesla first became profitable, I looked it up. They were making around 500,000 or 500,000 cars per year in 2020. And that's the first year they became profitable, right? So if it's something similar, right, that means Rivian has an order of magnitude to go before they can become profitable. And more than becoming profitable, the main focus also, too, is the economies of scale. So when you can produce more, you can hopefully achieve economies of scale, right? A lot of your costs will be lower in terms of maybe being able to vertically integrate, being able to do a lot more things in-house, not have to worry about so much transportation and all these costs that are associated with just producing smaller batches and maybe having to ship things from here to there to finally get them produced and out the door into the customer's hand. When you can achieve economies of scale, you can bring your cost down, which will also increase your demand, right? And then you can also, with costs are down, you can start actually becoming profitable, making money. And so that's what advantage Tesla has. Like I said, they have like 6 gigafactories now. That's the advantage they have over Figure AI, is with being at a run rate of making 2 million cars now around there in 2024 and increasing, hopefully for them, right? They have all these this expertise, this experience with building these factories, with producing batteries for the robots, right? As they make batteries for the cars, all these learnings and that they're have acquired and they're going to continue to acquire will help them produce robots for a cheaper amount, which again will help then drive demand. But again, right, like we even see that these are kind of different because they're consumer products, right? So even though their cars are double, people want them because they look a little bit different. But you can imagine if you're working, if you're someone that owns a warehouse or a factory and you just need something that can get the job done, if there were to be very comparable in features, you wouldn't want to pay double, right? You wouldn't pay for a Rivian robot when you get a Tesla robot for half the price. But so that's just one thing I realized is just that they have a huge advantage. But we can see, right, if Figure raises more money, right, they can maybe they're going to start building out larger factories. Well, they will, but I'm just saying they won't have as much expertise and just like the knowledge. But then obviously you can hire people with knowledge, right? And things, and hopefully they can start, if their robot does well and customers want it, they can start building out these factories and getting learnings themselves. One other thing I wanted to touch on, so the interviewer for this video here when I was playing with Brett talking. The interviewer, I believe his name is Herbert, and he also has a video. This one isn't on his channel, but on another. I think a lot of these people mostly formed their YouTube channels around Tesla and their kind of journey of being investors for Tesla. So Herbert here and Scott Walker was also in the video at the other interview, but at the end, Herbert and Scott here are being interviewed by this other guy, and they're talking about this this model, this sheet they have. I think they want to do some type of consulting or whatever, but I didn't realize. Look how many robotics companies there are, right? And that's not to say all of them will make it, but it's just to say, and I'm going to start checking out some videos of all these other robots and what they can do and what their time scale is and all these things. But right, look at all these people that are competing, and that will hopefully at least half of them will survive and be able to go to market and deliver robots and to services that people want. And then, maybe these will they'll be able to specialize in different things, right? I don't believe all these people, I can look at the videos, but they may not all be making humanoid robots, right? Sometimes you don't need something that maybe has the fingers and is able to maybe be in your house and be able to do very, very dexterous, be able to like fold a t-shirt or be able to pick up an apple or pick up a bag of chips with it, right? Maybe you don't need to do all those. I always bring up the chip example just because, right, it's a plastic bag that you want to squash, but regardless, right? Maybe you don't need all that complexity or what's the dexterosity? Is that a word? You don't need to be that dexterous to be able to do all these things potentially. So it would be so cool, and I'm excited to just look at all these other videos here and just see what's coming for the world. And so I say all to say, right? Economies of scale. Tesla has an advantage probably over all these people because just because I haven't heard of them doesn't mean they one aren't as part of a larger parent org, but two don't have experience producing things at millions of units per year. But Tesla probably has an advantage, and we'll see how that plays out. People will still, have partnerships, and maybe they can reduce rates at first, and we'll see what type of favorable terms people can get, and that can help them maybe survive and live on. Just like Rivian, I think it's kind of a cool company. I used to think their cars were ugly, but I kind of like them now. Maybe I'm not sure. Some of them, and hopefully they can survive this kind of period. Their stock is apparently down. It was as much down as I think 93% at one point. It may be up a little bit now. I think they had a 10% boost after releasing the not releasing it, but talking about what are these things called, these new models R2 and R3. I think they got a 10% bounce that day, but they're down a bit now. After that, I think this one day they went up a bit, or who knows where it was? Maybe it was over here. This is a 10% increase from 10 to 11. But I hope they can survive through these kind of tougher times for them. And then, right, just like Tesla, which had been around, I think according to this article, for 13 years or 18 years before, founded in 2003, maybe 2020, right? So 17 years before they became profitable. So that's pretty incredible. So hopefully these other companies around here, right, Lucid's one, I think they're in a lot more trouble, but whatever. Hopefully these companies can survive, and we can get innovation, we can get better consumer products, we can get more electric vehicles, more robots, and things in the world that providing value and that are saving time and money. So that's all I have for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.